Hi everyone, I'm Susan Nutowitz with letsfeelexcellent.com, or the YouTube channel by the same name. And I got this question here that I want to address. Here it is. Okay, do you eat miso or any cultured veggies, sauerkraut, etc.? And the second question is, are they considered raw since they are fermented foods? And if not, how do you get your probiotics? Okay, great question there. Okay, so I wanted to do a video on probiotics and prebiotics for you anyway, so this is perfect. So first of all, let's start with the probiotics. And the probiotics, what are they? Okay, so the probiotics in your gut is the friendly bacteria. Now, so we have a population of bacteria and fungus and parasites that are supposed to be in our body. But basically what we want mostly for good health is balance. We want balance in our body. So a lot of times, I think so many of us are reaching for, what do I need? What do I need for health? What do I need for more energy? What do I need to do the thing that I want to do, right? And the thing is that we need balance. So we need bacteria to be there, but we need friendly bacteria to be there. So what does this friendly bacteria do? Well, the friendly bacteria is what actually eats your food. It digests your food for you, and it can do other magical things too. Like one thing that's really magical is that it will regulate your immune system. So again, going for that balance. You don't want your immune system to be too overactive, so you don't want an autoimmune disease, and you don't want chronic inflammation, just pain all the time, right? So what the probiotics do is they help to regulate the immune system so they can bump it up when you have a need for it. So you fall down and scrape your knee, you need your immune system, you come into contact, which you do every day, of a flu or a virus or some kind of thing that's not productive in your system. And so then the probiotic can help bump up your immune system or pull it back, whichever you need. And so it needs to be uncrowded by this bad bacteria. We don't want anything unproductive in our bodies whatsoever. So it needs to just be a good population of friendly bacteria for that to happen. So what other things it can do? Well, it can reduce the formation of cancer cells. So we all have cancer cells, we do, but we don't want cancer cells going wild and creating pockets of fluid, which would be tumors. We don't want them to be taking over our organs and things like this. So we want anything that can reduce the population of cancer cells to do so. So say we partake in things that are carcinogenic, having a good, healthy probiotic population is helpful. They also reduce inflammation. We don't want a whole lot of inflammation, especially chronic inflammation. If we start having inflammation due to misalignments or whatever, things that we're eating that aren't productive in our bodies and that are causing inflammatory processes. If we keep causing an inflammatory process over and over again in the same area, the body will just automatically start doing inflammation there. That's called chronic inflammation. It's really humbug. We don't want it. So a healthy probiotic population can help reduce inflammation. We want that. That's great. Okay, so what are some food sources of probiotics? So now a lot of you know about yogurt, although what I want to tell you is the standard yogurt, even Greek. I don't know how many people say, well, I'm pretty healthy, I eat Greek yogurt. That's the biggest marketing scam ever. There's nothing different about that kind of yogurt. All of the yogurt, unless it's raw yogurt in your dairy case, it it's a processed food. It's been pasteurized, it's been homogenized, it's been screwed around with, and so it's so far from the original benefit that you were wanting to receive. Also, look on the ingredients of yogurt and how many ingredients have OSE after them. That's sugar, and sugar's not helpful to the body. So, you don't really need a cow to make yogurt, but if you were to eat yogurt, if you were to tell me, there's no way that you're going to convince me not to eat yogurt, well, you really have to have the cow or the goat or in close vicinity. It has to be fresh, it has to be raw, because what you need in it is the cultures of the yogurt. So if that food has been pasteurized and homogenized, forget it. It's not going to have cultures in it. It's just going to have a bunch of sugar in it. It's like liquid ice cream is what it is like. So that's all that is. You can make your own yogurts. I show you how to do that. I think an almond yogurt. I think I would do a sesame seed yogurt on this channel. But it's pretty easy to do, to culture other forms of fat that aren't saturated fat too, and they don't have a bunch of lead and morphine and all kinds of other junk that you just don't want to ingest. Okay, it's good food, and you can make your yogurt that way. Miso is another probiotic, although getting back to the original question, miso is not a raw food. I've tried to make it raw and looked for raw sources. It's made out of beans or rice, so it's not a raw food at all, but it is pretty healthy every once in a while. I'll tell you right now, I don't do too many probiotics, and I will tell you when it's a good idea to do them and what the alternative is, but I don't do too many probiotics. Just every once in a while I'll do that. Spirulina is another one, but that's actually literally pond scum, so that's where that bacteria comes from. And then there's other ones that are sauerkraut. Yeah, sauerkraut. I give you a recipe for my favorite one, which is carrot kraut, on here, so check that one out. It's in my early days of videoing, so it's not the best quality video, but it's a really, really good recipe. Very simple and easy to kraut and pickle your own vegetables. And I show you how to do that. So that's a really good way to get probiotics. When do you want to take a probiotic? Okay, so you want to take a probiotic if you have an autoimmune disease every day. Every day, get that thing under control, get your gut functioning. Now, if you have a distended belly and your gut is not functioning so well, then I work with people on that with the coaching, but I usually will we'll usually try prebiotics first to get that gut functioning, because you don't want to feed the bad bacteria. That's the whole point about it. And then when else do you need a probiotic? Okay, right after a colonic or an enema, you're wiping out some of the bad bacteria, so take a little probiotic there to put some stuff back, okay? When else? Oh, when you're on antibiotics, definitely. Antibiotics only do if you really need them. When you need them, you need them. If you're dying, you need them. So do your antibiotics when you need them. However, antibiotics are kind of like bleach, so they wipe out everything. So you kind of want to just do your probiotics at that time, and whenever your immune system is compromised. You ran a marathon yesterday, you might want to bump up with some probiotics. Now, prebiotics. What are prebiotics? Okay, now prebiotics are just your food, and the food that we eat on a raw vegan diet. That's your prebiotics, or your vegan diet. There's a couple of them that are cooked, but that are better cooked. But prebiotics are the food for the probiotics. So when you put in the prebiotics, the probiotics eat the prebiotics, and then they become more probiotics. So that's a good way to do it. Sometimes if you're, like I said, your gut is distended, or you're trying to get more healthy gut function in a more gentle way. So you want to drink plenty of water, not with your food, but around your food, because you're going to get lots of soluble fiber, and that water is going to mix with the fiber, and it's going to be able to allow that easy digestion to happen. So prebiotics are like your bananas, asparagus, onions, the things like that. Chicory is the highest, but chicory is going to be a roasted form. Now I do I think I call it a good way to get protein, herbal tea, and I give you a recipe with roasted chicory in there. It's an excellent tea. I love it. I have it just about every day. So when do you need prebiotics? Oh, first let me tell you what they do. They make the probiotics, so they help make this really healthy gut flora. They help get this balance going, and they crowd out the bad bacteria, so they can actually eliminate the bad bacteria with the prebiotics. Okay, and when you do prebiotics every day, so I do them every day. Now, tips beyond the tips. If you are eating anything that you know causes inflammation or indigestion, don't do it. Take it out. It's just as simple as that. I don't care how much you enjoy it. It's just a little tape in your head. It's the BS, the belief system in your reptilian brain that's telling you, oh, I need it. You know, if you're drinking wine and your face gets all flushed, for example, you get all warm in your face, stop it. That's inflammation. And you're creating these inflammatory processes, like I was saying before. When you create them over and over in the same area, the body all of a sudden just keeps doing it for you. And then you have chronic inflammation. Very difficult to reverse at that point. We can do it, but you know, from what I've seen, a lot of you aren't going to want to, because it's going to involve a raw vegan diet and some investment in some therapy, you know, some serious investment, thousands, you know. So so don't do that, you know. If beer or beans or whatever gives you a big gut, stop eating it. Now, if you're really not sure, what you can do is just do a little raw vegan, might be considered a fast for you, of fruits and vegetables for about 3 weeks, and then put just that one substance in, just one at a time. So just put that one substance in, see what it does. And then if you have more that you're curious about, then go again, you know, another 2 weeks, then put something else in and see what it does. That's the only real way to really see what those things do. I thank you so much for joining me. If this information was valuable to you, please give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to know more about, you know, if you want more mentoring on your diet and your food choices and what they can do for you, what they don't do for you, then contact me at letsfeelexcellent.com/SI Health Coaching. And please share this. Share this with your social media, because, you know, how many of you knew about probiotics and prebiotics before? Prebiotics aren't talked about a lot. There's not as much research on them, but they're starting to come out because it's an easy way to fix a lot of stuff. Okay? And I also have a new donation page on my website. And this was put there because of many recommendations to do it. You know, this research takes time to do. There's some expense in putting out products for you, future products. So if this was valuable to you, you can also go to letsfeelexcellent.com/donations and, you know, buy me a smoothie or whatever. I thank you so much for joining me. I'm Susan Nunowitz with Let'sFeelExcellent.com, wishing you an excellent day. Aloha.